Yo everyone, how's it going? And welcome back to another video and to another race reaction today for the Russian Grand Prix for the 2021 season. And finally, once again, Russia has delivered. 2021 has delivered once again. And yeah, for Sochi, normally we don't get many good races there, but this weekend was quite interesting and very exciting in many ways. So let's waste no time, let's get straight into it. So kicking it all off then, Lewis Hamilton winning his 100th Grand Prix in Formula 1. I mean, I cannot believe it. He's come this far. It just doesn't feel real, like the amount of seasons that he's had and stuff. It's just insane. It's an insane number of Grand Prix to win. Who knows if it will ever be topped? We'll have to wait and see, obviously, in the future. But yeah, Lewis wins the Grand Prix. Obviously, I didn't tell the full story, but I'll get onto that later when we talk about McLaren. But yeah, just quite a flawless race, to be honest. I think he got a little bit unlucky in qualifying when he made that mistake coming into the pit entry. Slightly hit the wall on the way in. So that sort of compromised his qualifying, but yeah, no, he was solid in the race, and I thought it was so good to see him and Lando finally get out for that first place coming to the end of the race. It was absolutely brilliant to see, and such a fantastic job from Lewis. I'm so happy he's got 100 wins. It's so good. Valtteri Bottas as well, finishing in 5th. I literally give up this guy. In 1 minute, he's literally dominating like he was in Italy. And just today, he was just nowhere, really. I mean, obviously, you can see Verstappen making his way up through the field. But Bottas just did not make any attempt to defend from Verstappen and just didn't really have the momentum like Verstappen did getting past the field. But he still managed up in 5th place, so still good haul of points for Mercedes. So next up is Red Bull and Max Verstappen in 2nd place. I cannot believe it. Obviously, got very lucky at the end with the rain, but nevertheless, he was still up into about P6 or 7. Halfway through the Grand Prix, so still did a fantastic job like we knew he would. Obviously the car that he's got at the moment is just incredible, and yeah, he made some really good moves, especially down towards that sort of I can't remember what turn it is, but the long sort of back straight, or the flat out sort of curve, should we say, but it's not really a straight. But yeah, he was making some really good moves into there, and Sergio Perez as well. He finished down in 9th. I'm not actually sure what happened to him at the end of the Grand Prix. I think, like I said, so much happened at the end of the Grand Prix. It was so hard to keep up with what was going on. There was so much team radio. There was all this commentators getting excited. It was all kicking off at the end of the Grand Prix. But yeah, he ended up in 9th in the end. And yeah, didn't really do a lot to challenge sort of Lewis or the McLarens or anything like that. So yeah, a bit of a disappointing weekend once again for Sergio. So next up is Ferrari, Carlos Sainz. What a weekend for him. He finished in P3, coming off obviously qualifying as well, where he managed to qualify P2 up there with Lando, which I thought was brilliant. Obviously those two really good friends. But yeah, Carlos just sort of held on in there, really. Had some pretty good pace throughout the Grand Prix, and then once again managed to pick up the pieces at the end when everyone pitted for the rain window. So yeah, it was really good to see Sainz on the podium as well. And Charles Leclerc ended up in 15th place. I think he got screwed over at the end. Bit similar story to Lando at the end. He didn't manage to pit in time, and unfortunately by then I think he just lost control of the car. I think he managed to finish the race finally, but he nearly went into the wall. But yeah, disappointing weekend for Charles Leclerc. So next up is McLaren, Daniel Ricciardo. First of all, let's talk about him. 4th place for Daniel. Once again, sort of got a little bit lucky at the end, but he had some decent pace, I'd say. Qualified 5th as well, I believe. But yeah, once again, Ricciardo putting in some good performances, and Lando Norris. Obviously, me being British, I was very disappointed by this. But yeah, absolutely dominated qualifying, dominated the whole of the race until that rain period came. He didn't want to pit, he didn't think it was worth it, and then all of a sudden the rain just came shooting in with about 3 laps to go, and then that was Lando's race absolutely ruined. He still managed to finish in 7th, but just such a shame. He had such good pace and was holding off Lewis so well. And it would have been so good to see Lando get his first win in that style, holding off a 7-time world champion. It's just such a shame, but yeah, you know, you still can't diss his performance. It was absolutely fantastic. So next up we'll do Alpine. Fernando Alonso finishing in 6th place. He had a fantastic Grand Prix as well. Once again, had really good pace, kept out of danger, and then yeah, once again picked up the pieces at the end of the Grand Prix as well. I don't think he really had the pace to hold off the guys at the end like Sainz, Verstappen and all that. But yeah, like I said, there was so much going on. But it was crazy. But yeah, Alonso once again proving that his talent has never left him, basically. So it was really, really good to see. And Esteban Ocon finished in 14th. I swear I literally didn't see him throughout the entire Grand Prix. So yeah, a bit of a quiet one for Ocon, but yeah, 6th place for Fernando Alonso. So I didn't even notice this. Kimi Raikkonen actually finished in 8th place for Alfa Romeo. Obviously he's just come back from 2 weeks, well, he missed the last 2 races due to COVID, but yeah, to come into a Grand Prix and get your 2 points, get 4 points is absolutely incredible. So yeah, really, really good job from Kimi. I knew he was in the top 10, like, throughout the majority of the Grand Prix, but yeah, he held on to 8th place and got some points for the team, which is really, really good to see. And then Antonio Giovinazzi finished in 16th. Didn't really see a whole lot of him either, unfortunately, but yeah, some more points for Alfa Romeo. So next up we'll do Williams. George Russell once again had a really good weekend. Qualified P3 after putting the softs on right at the end of qualifying. But unfortunately that pace didn't really continue throughout the Grand Prix, which was to be expected really, but he still managed to hold on to 10th and still get a point for Williams, which is really, really good to see. Yeah, I literally cannot wait to see him in that Mercedes next year. It's going to be so exciting. But yeah, once again, more points for Williams, and Latifi finished down in 19th place. I think he DNF'd in the end as well. I'm not really sure what that was for. I wasn't sure if he crashed or anything. Once again, I watched Channel 4 highlights, so they don't show like every single little bit of detail. But yeah, it says 19th and a DNF, so not really sure what happened to Latifi. Next up is Aston Martin. Stroll and Vettel finishing 11th and 12th. Obviously, there was that very tense moment sort of towards the end of the Grand Prix where I think it was Vettel coming around the outside of Stroll, and Stroll just didn't see him and nearly put both of them into the wall and ended both of their races. But unfortunately, they both came away with no points. And yeah, once again, we didn't really see much of them. I know that they were sort of in that train at the start and sort of halfway through. But yeah, didn't really see much of them either, and yeah, not a great performance. So next up we'll do AlphaTauri. Pierre Gasly in 13th place and Tsunoda 17th. Once again, didn't really see much from sort of Tsunoda. I think I'm sure Gasly's pit stop went wrong or something, but I know he didn't really have a very good race either. But yeah, just not a great weekend again for AlphaTauri. On not great weekends, we'll do Haas as well. Yeah, Nikita Mazepin 18th, and Schumacher also DNF'd as well. Again, not really sure what that was. Didn't see that right at the end. I'm not sure if it was for the same reason as Latifi, if he crashed out or something. But yeah, once again, scoreless for Haas as well. So that is it, guys, for the race reaction for the Russian Grand Prix. And I've got to say, for Sochi, it was a fantastic weekend. And yeah, normally it doesn't provide a lot of great racing. It's not the best track, especially the last sector, like a few other circuits. The sectors aren't brilliant, but yeah, for Sochi it was very intense and it kept you on your edge of your seat the whole way through, has to be said. But yeah, this honestly, 2021 I think will literally go down in history if these sort of things keep continuing, like crazy grids and crazy races. I definitely think it will go down as the best season in Formula 1 ever. If I'm honest, it's definitely up there with like 2012 and things like that, when we had like 7 different race winners in 7 races. But yeah, just absolutely phenomenal. So gutting for Lando Norris, but obviously, as you guys know, leave your thoughts in the comments and everything that happened down below. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. If you're new here, please do hit the subscribe button and also like the video as well. And I will see you all again in the next one, guys. Take care.